What's up, everybody? It is our infamous Sunday charting session. So, nasdaq is still around all-time highs, so it's not going to be much for nasdaq other than kind of grabbing the new highs. It does suck when we are just making new all-time highs. It makes trading a bit more difficult, in my opinion, at least. But we will grab some levels here. So first of all, we'll grab this daily close. We'll mark it in red, even though it's not a weekly, because these are going to be our important levels going into tomorrow. And then we'll switch over to that weekly, same thing. Grab our levels. Everything's already kind of charted from last week. Not really doing much here. Go over to our 4-hour as well. We'll mark this 4-hour low for now. Make that white. And that's basically it. Yeah, I don't want to put a level at these highs yet because we're like right at it, so we're probably just gonna keep making highs. When we do get a massive sell-off from a high, I will put a level there, but for now I'm just gonna leave it as is. Not much more we're adding to nasdaq. I mean, we already had our levels from previous weeks, so they are going to be pretty accurate going into next week. Not much we got to do there. Yeah, so nasdaq's pretty boring for this week. Nothing much. See how we do around these all-time highs. We do have some news this week as well, so we'll see how we react to that. This 4 hours topped out, so we'll see if we finally get a nice retrace. See what our daily's doing. Right at median, so we'll see. And then we'll switch over to our money maker here, good old GC. So gold's been trading pretty nicely, so we'll be sure to chart this little guy over here. So we will grab the wick low of the week down here. And then this wick high up here. And this candle close right there. And everything else seems to fall into place. Do have this wick high on the weekly here. We'll chart that bad boy, and then we do have this candle close there on that weekly. And down here at that wick low, what is that? Put a level at that wick low as well, just so we have areas of trimming. And it's gold for us. Pretty simple charting week. Not much that we kind of saw or did. I'll put a level at that wick low that we had on Friday as well, just so we have areas of trimming. It's about 10-point gap. Still around all-time highs for gold, but we did see more consolidation, so that's really good. Day trading has been pretty nice. Approaching that 92 area. But yeah, that's kind of gold charted for now. If anybody in VC has any stocks they want me to chart going into next week, please let me know. But Coinbase looks pretty bullish. We'll add a level here at these lows.
I do have a question on NQ.
Yes, sir. Let me hear it.
How come we saw like a pretty crazy jump at market open? Like there's a huge gap. Why does that happen?
That is a good question. This gap in specific, I'm not sure what it was. I don't think it was the contract slipping, right? Galaxy contracts didn't flip. I think people just...
No, it wasn't. I think it's to prepare for FOMC and a huge earnings week this week.
Yeah, because I didn't see any major news that I saw, at least. I was also pretty surprised when I opened TradingView and I saw plus 270 points. I was like, what the hell? And like near open. It was crazy. And then we kind of just chopped. But yeah, I'm not too sure. I didn't see anything. I don't know if I missed it. I didn't see any major news or anything major that happened. It's a good question. I'm not too sure why we got this massive gap up. But we kind of just been chopping up here. So it's been holding pretty nicely for now. We'll see what happens going to London in about 80 minutes. Or it's 80 minutes. 40 minutes. We'll see. Stocks going into next week. I do have my eyes on good old Weeble. If we could break these highs and see some continuation, I do think we could get to like $12 and then possibly all the way up to $15 area maybe. But first we'd have to break like $12.50 and then 13, but it did get bought up nicely at this previous low area, so that is a good sign. We're just about to break these previous highs and should see some continuation. Another one I am looking at into next week for some potential calls is, where's it at? GRR. So GRR is approaching this key level area. We have failed to break these lows, so if we end up breaking these highs at $17, I do think we could get a retest of $18 area, 1850 area. So that would be a nice possible call play. And UNH also looks like a nice possible call play. We have failed to break any lows in the bigger picture here, and we have consistently made higher highs. We have been consolidating, and we're kind of ready for this breakout. So calls on UNH also look pretty solid. Another one is CrowdStrike also looks pretty good. We broke all-time highs. Get a nice retrace this 520, and then we could possibly swing some calls for the week. Coinbase as well, as we talked about earlier, breaking these key high areas here at 351. This one might probably gap up. I think Bitcoin's up over the weekend, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so Coinbase is probably gonna gap up. Probably won't be able to catch that one. Damn, Ryotech. I was thinking about buying that pullback Galaxy. I don't know if you've seen it pull it back pretty hard. I was thinking about getting in. Damn, should have. It's already up $1.50. And any other stocks I was looking at into next week? Off the top of my head. Oh, Oscar. Oscar also looks pretty good. I think this one also, just like UNH, has kind of failed to break any of these previous lows. It's been making higher lows. And then we did kind of double bottom out these previous lows here. So it does look pretty good. I would probably want to see a break of this 20.50 area to possibly catch calls all the way up to this previous highs at like $24. Other than that, I think those are the main stocks I was looking at into next week. Yeah, I wasn't really looking at anything else. Those are the main guys I've been looking at. And then gold did break. We're just trying to break above these key area here, so we'll see if it does do that. Possible longs if we do break that 94 area. Yeah. Mr. Galaxy, Quasi, Sean, do you guys have any questions about anything or any charts you guys want me to look at going into next week?
Can you look at Oracle?
Damn, that was a nasty pullback, bro. I don't know if you were in VC. When we had this rip to like 350, I literally said long-term puts look amazing. Like I would swing long-term puts. Like I was like, that's a massive overreaction. Dude, those would have paid like insane amount. Like, I think that would be like maybe 500%. Dude, that was free money I missed out on. Damn. Wow, I didn't even see it pull back that hard. Now though, it does look bullish. Reason being, right? Previous lows got bought up already. This daily looks really bullish. Close above these wick highs, and then we saw continuation. And we did kind of get a nice pullback at the end of the day. So I mean, this Friday was actually more than likely your entry. I think we'll probably end up gapping up on this, but it does look pretty good. I think even if you don't, if say it gaps up even like to like 287 or like 290 area, probably just wait for a retest of that 287 area and then catch some calls. We're approaching 4-hour median, so if we break that, that looks pretty good, man. Not gonna lie, this is something I will definitely keep my eye out on. Galaxy, this is a good potential one. Curiosity, why did you look at this Galaxy? Did you see somebody like post something about it, or you were just checking charts?
No, I was just looking at charts.
You give me some interesting tickers, man. Like some good setups. You see good potential setups.
Oh damn! Beyond pulled back like crazy.
That's a really bad pullback. I honestly think it's a good buy. Anything under like $1.50, I think is a good buy.
Really? Because isn't the whole rally just based off meme?
Yeah, but I think $1.50 is still decent, because before the rally it was around 65-70 cents, and I mean I think it's a decent company. They had some news. I think like they said they're gonna start selling Beyond Meat at Walmart, if I'm not mistaken. That came out recently. I don't know if you've seen that. So I think it could be a decent buy for long term. Even
I
if
thought they were going bankrupt. I'm not too sure if it was Impossible Food or if it was Beyond Meat or.
it was probably Beyond Meat, but they're probably trying to save it. Yeah, I'm not too sure. I'm not too informed in that. I only added that to my watch list because, like you said, it's been rallying because of the meme. So that's why I added that down there. And then see what else is cooking. See if we see any good looking charts here. Dude, Micron just looks so bullish, but I'm not touching that all-time highs. QQQ looks really bullish.
Look at hymns.
Hymns. I know I have this on my watch list. Where's he at? Hymns. Okay, I'll just type it down more. I don't really like this chart. Let's see on the 4 hour. Yeah, I don't think that looks too good. Let's see the daily. This one's interesting. The only way this will look good in my opinion is if we potentially have a rally on Monday. If not, if it chops around these lows, we're probably gonna come all the way down to like $40.
I was looking to play a break of like 50.
Yeah, a break. I think a break of like 52 area here would be nice, and you could probably catch a move to like $60. I mean, this technically could be that pullback, and then like if we break this 45 area, you close. That might be a bit hefty on options, though. I'm not sure. I've never traded hymns on options, so I don't really know how the contracts move.
The contracts, they're actually pretty cheap.
Yeah, if they're pretty cheap, then that wouldn't maybe not be a bad area where you could take a lotto call, and then if you break and close under like this 46 area, then you could just close it. Damn, EL has been running. I had this like at $80. Nice run up. A lot of the long-term stocks I look at are because of the market bishop, that one dude we were talking about, Galaxy. Yeah, he's really good at finding good looking charts.
I think I forget who, but somebody called out Beyond as a buy before it started ripping.
Bear talked about Beyond before it started ripping. Yeah, that was a nice one. Yeah, I think that's about it for charting. Holy shit, that was only 13 minutes. That was pretty quick.